Welcome back to Pink Popcorn, everybody.
Welcome. We're happy to
I
be here.
know we are. Um, how was your week, Kim?
It was good. We haven't talked much because
Yes.
you were camping. I had to resist the urge to call you like every day. It was so sad.
I know we went camping for 3 days and it
Yeah.
was so much work. We've been trying to take the kids, like we do it every year now. We've done it for the last couple of years with some friends. And the boys had so much fun though. Like it's so
It
much
sounds
work
so
to pack
fun.
everything, but it's fun. It rained one of the nights,
Was it?
but it was okay. So I couldn't, it was just loud. We couldn't sleep that well, but it was nice and cozy in the tent. It
Yeah,
kept us warm and dry,
right. Wait, did
but
your youngest, I feel weird being
oh
like,
yeah,
your youngest,
I
Jordan?
know. But Jordan, the 2-year-old, he didn't stay. Matt took him home and they slept at the house.
Yeah.
And that was just so much easier. And
Yeah.
so um, the 9 and 11-year-old stayed the night, and then the oldest, he had to work the next day. So he didn't stay the night for, yeah,
Yeah.
both nights. Anyway, so the 9 and 11-year-old had so much fun because it did rain for part of the time, but all the kids, because our friends were there too, they all played kickball in the rain and got soaked. They were so happy, and baseball. And because there's a big field, and then there's a bunch of playgrounds all around the camping sites. And so they were just playing the whole time, ran around. Then there's a creek with a swimming hole that they call it with some rope swings. And so once the sun came out, we went down there and they swam. They were totally happy. And we played games around the campsite too, like spike ball and stuff like that. And then we had dinner and the fire. Once it got dark, the kids all had glow sticks and played capture the flag. So yeah, they were so happy. And then,
That is so
but it
fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. So that
That
was
is so
our
fun.
the main thing this week. But what have you
Good.
been doing, Kiam?
Literally nothing. No, I got a hacky sack.
Oh yeah, said you were going
Yeah,
to.
getting into that, hacking. I don't know.
Yes,
I'm really
bringing the
bad at
90s
it.
back.
Yeah, I was just kind of, remember when we were younger, our older brothers would play like with the neighbors. I just remember being in our living room and they were like passing it around. I'm like, oh, that's fun. So I thought I'd try it out. I'm not good at it, but
Yes.
I'm getting better every day.
No, that is
It is
so fun.
actually kind of
It's
fun. I
like,
also read that it can help with focus a little bit, which I kind of like because I've tried meditating and I cannot do it. No, I
oh
probably
yeah.
could if I really tried, but I like hacky sack because I'm so serious about it because it's like it requires focus and it's like I'm not good at it, so it falls a lot, but it does help me focus pretty well because I have
Yes.
to. I don't know. It's kind of
Well,
nice,
maybe,
and so it
yeah.
gets me
So
out
it's
of
a
my head a little
form.
bit. Yeah.
Yes. And it's kind of like meditating. That is
Our
so fun and
lives are
random.
so vastly different. I, they're
No,
just,
well, and you worked all week. It's not like you sat around with your hacky
yeah,
sack all day.
just hanging out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
No,
anyway,
but that is fun. And it's like, oh, when we talked about we should do things we liked as kids, because there was a book about that.
yeah. Oh.
Not about that, but I remember listening to a book, The Happiness Project,
Oh.
and one of the things she says is to do things that you liked as a kid that you enjoyed. And she started doing a children's book club because she loved like children's books.
Oh.
And you just enjoy things that you still like. So we talked about we should rollerblade again.
Yes, I
And
want to get
loved that as a
rollerblades
kid.
because, oh, I loved it.
Yeah,
So
you
that's on
should.
my list. I need to buy those. Maybe I should start playing The Sims again too because I was obsessed with that.
You
Just kidding.
should.
I shouldn't because I actually had to like
Mm,
actively as an adult there were times like as a young adult where I was like I kind of want to play The Sims again because I was so into it when I was younger and I would play it and get sucked in. It is not good. It sucks you in
Yes.
and you spend hours playing
Yeah.
and it's
So
addictive.
addictive.
Yeah. And
So yeah, you
so
probably shouldn't
that's
even
probably
start
not. Yeah.
down that road.
Oh, it was so
That's
fun
true.
though. Anyway,
But
okay.
yes,
So
so let's get
get
into our
on.
episodes.
Hmm.
Yeah, this week we are going to be discussing episodes 17, 18, and 19. We're still in season one of Gilmore Girls.
Hmm. Yeah.
And it's getting good. Oh,
It
sorry, I was clicking
is.
my pen. I
How
shouldn't do
dare
that.
you? Click your pen. I didn't even notice.
So,
Okay.
yeah, tell us what episode 17 is
So
about.
episode 17 is the breakup part 2. So last episode, if you recall, was Rory and Dean broke up after their 3-month anniversary because she did not say I love you back to him. Um,
Yeah,
so
how dare she?
so this episode starts off right at that moment when she gets home and Lorelai sees that she's upset. And so we have this episode. What's happening is Rory trying to deal with her breakup with Dean and kind of avoiding feeling those things. Lorelai also missing Max. We see her go back to Max, and that's exciting.
Mhm.
Rory goes to a Chilton party. Very exciting. I love it. And that's pretty much the gist of it, what happens this episode. So let's get into it.
Okay,
Let's do it. All right.
let's do it.
So we start off with Rory coming home. She's sad. She said when they broke up. Lorelai's trying to figure out why, what happened, and Rory won't really
Oh,
explain.
Rory won't talk about it because she's not wanting to feel her feelings, which
Yes,
I
she
get.
also is
Everyone's just sad.
probably embarrassed that she felt like she couldn't say I love you, maybe. I don't know. Or
Yeah,
like,
I think you're right. Or doesn't even know how to express
yes.
all of it.
Yeah. She's
And
just like
so,
feeling a lot.
okay, I love Lorelai guessing. Okay, well, what happened? Is he moving? Is he dying? Did his football team lose a game? And that is real. She's like, hey, it happens. Okay, guys get so upset about like you can't talk to them if they lose a
Yeah.
game, right? Didn't you go through that with your high school boyfriend?
I don't know. I feel like he wasn't that emotional
Okay.
about it. Because I'm trying to think. Like, he
Well,
was bummed, but he wasn't like breaking up with me bummed. I don't
yes,
know.
but I do know like people who if they're maybe it's worse, I'm sure it is in college and then,
Yeah,
professional,
there's more
but
on the line.
more on the line, more pressure. And so you have to like give them space and can't talk to them afterward. And girls sometimes
Mm.
can't do that and they want to fix it and they want them to talk. And then they think they're like you think that the guy's mad at you. Also,
Yeah.
it's not just when the guy's team loses. This happens when, okay, I'm speaking from experience now. My husband was he loves football, just watching.
Yeah.
Like he's a fan, especially he loves the Baltimore Ravens because he's from around Baltimore. And he's gotten so much better at just caring about it less. But when we were first married, if the Ravens would lose, especially to the Steelers, because it's like
Ah,
where they live, like some people love the
it's a big
Steelers, some people
rival.
love the Ravens. Yes. So if they lost to the Steelers, especially, he would be in a bad mood for like 2 days. And I remember not understanding it at first.
That's
But
so funny.
and then I learned, oh, okay, he's not like mad at me. He's just grouchy
Uh-huh.
because his team lost his team. But yeah, guys get so into it.
Honestly,
And I'm
though,
sure
I feel
some
like
girls do.
I would be more upset if our high school football team lost than the guy I was dating. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'd get into it. I'd be like, "Ah,
Yes.
they didn't, da da da, da," whatever. So then we have the next. So she's trying to figure out what happened. Rory starts putting all this stuff into a box, like that reminds her of Dean. Anything
Mhm.
that he gave her, anything that reminds her of him, all these things. Did you have a box like this? Did you have boxes like with boys that
Yes,
you.
with for ex-boyfriends. Oh, also, this reminds me of an episode of The Kardashians, Kim Kardashian calls it an Xbox
That's
because,
fun.
and I'm
Clever.
sure she has plenty of them, but yeah, it's just like, it's kind of fun to remember your time. I don't know, it's
Hmm.
like sweet memories now. I was not the best at keeping stuff, which it's fine either way, but my
Yeah.
best friend she was like, no, you have to burn it all, like burn the pictures. And and so sometimes I would do that. I would
Oh,
just throw stuff away instead of being sad. But I wish that I had done what Lorelai says. Like you might want to look back on it later. It's like, yeah, good
yeah.
memories and stuff. And
Yeah.
so, did you do Xboxes? Keep the stuff.
Mostly like my like first big breakup, I feel like I did. After that, I don't know. Yeah. I it's Here's what I learned after that experience though, because I did that, but then there was times where I was so upset and so emotional. And so like I had all these journal entries that I had written so much about him, and I
Uh,
had them in those boxes, in that box, and I like tore them all up, and I was gonna throw them away, but then I like had a moment of like I'm just gonna throw the torn up pieces in there, and then a few years pass, and I'm like I kind of wish I wouldn't have torn those out because it's like
yes.
it's a part of your life like that was
Yeah.
significant, and at the time you're upset and you're emotional and you don't want to see it, and we learned this in the box, just keeping them in the box. It's just nice sometimes, like when you go back, it's fun to remember those times, even though
Yeah.
like the breakup was hard, like the dating and stuff was fun and it was good, and it was just like I don't know, you
Yeah, and
know?
even if it wasn't all good, you still learned things from it and
Yeah.
like
And
they meant
so
something to you.
yeah, after that, I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, after that, I just didn't really see it the same way. I wasn't quite as emotional, I feel like, with
Yeah. Yeah,
breakups.
more level-headed about it. That's true. And but so we see Rory doesn't want to do it. She just wants to get rid of it and doesn't want to talk about it, which Lorelai handles it well. She gives her space. She's like, "I'll take care of it." And, she keeps it for her.
Yes,
And
good.
so then, and later in the episode, we see Lorelai's Max
Max
box,
box.
and
It's
that's
cute.
really cute. But also, this episode, I was calling it the blue sweater episode because Lorelai, well, in the beginning, she's still in it's sort of purplish blue sweater with her skirt from Friday Night Dinner,
Oh
which
yeah.
is so adorable. Then she wears this other blue sweater with
The
the
blues,
rainbow
that's like my
shoulder.
favorite one. I think she wears it another time too. Like that same
Well,
sweater.
Lane has one like
Or
it later,
maybe
or
no,
maybe
I think Lane is wearing Lorelai's sweater later.
okay,
That's
later
what it
in one of the
is.
episodes. Okay, we have to
That's
find
what I
it.
assumed, is that she borrowed Lorelai's sweater. Like that's in my, yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
that's
that fits because yeah, she would.
yeah.
And yeah, that's one of my favorite Lorelai sweaters. I don't know. And also,
She looks so cute in it.
she's so adorable in the way she does her hair too, but she always is. Also, Suki looks good in this episode. Her red hair, like she just looks pretty, I noticed. So what happens next? Oh, the Wallow conversation.
Yes, so we wake up in the morning feeling like I don't even want to say his name.
Is
No,
that
I'm just
like
kidding.
a Kesha song?
Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so she sorry, I can't. Anyway, so they wake up, Lorelai wakes up. Rory comes in to wake Lorelai up at 6 a.m. apparently, but it's blasting daylight. Like it is
Yeah.
fully sun is
No.
up and has been. It is not 6 a.m. in Connecticut. I looked it up. So
No.
this is what I discovered. So the
Decided.
night before was their Rory and Dean's 3 month anniversary, which he said was 3 months from her birthday. Her birthday is October 8th, I think. And so
Hmm.
3 months after that would have been January 8th. So the next day would have been January 9th, right? Or
Right.
I guess actually it probably would have been January 8th because he said it was. Anyway, whatever. They didn't have it on the exact day.
Yes.
So the
You're so
January 8th,
serious.
I'm so serious. I'm like, and here we go. Okay. I looked up for this year at least, in Hartford, Connecticut, because since Stars Hollow is not real, what time the sun came up on January 9th, which probably would have been the same January 8th,
Yeah.
7:18 a.m. There is
See,
no way that the sun
it's
was up at
not
6
sunny,
a.m.
especially
It's
that
winter.
bright.
Yeah, that bright.
It's
It's
winter.
winter. No, I
This
mean, I
is what
love
happens. Oh,
love the lighting in this episode. I hate
I
that
do.
it's not accurate. The timing is
It
not
bugs.
accurate. It really
It
does.
bugs. Also, they do this in other TV shows, and I feel like because they film so much in LA, it's just always bright and sunny.
It's
And
true.
so
Yeah.
maybe they don't think about in the East. No, it is not
Yeah.
so sunny so early.
Right,
But,
right.
and
But
like,
yeah.
we've probably ranted about this in before because, yeah, it bugs me. Everyone's just like happily eating dinner, or not dinner, breakfast in the bright, sunny,
And
and
it's the
taking their
6
time.
a.m. crowd. How long did it take to, I mean, I could see maybe they get there by like 6:30 at the earliest. It's at 6 a.m. How does Rory know? My only thought is that she has
Yes,
gotten up early for school like a nerd.
that's
She
true,
is
because
when
she
she went to Stars
does.
Hollow High. It's the 6
Yeah,
a.m.
I could
crowd.
see that. That's true.
But on
But
a
we still
Saturday,
love
I
it.
don't know.
But I
Yeah.
agree.
And then we go to Luke's and they're eating and Luke is sweet and Miss Patty already knows somehow. 'Cause she just knows.
How does Miss Patty know? What
I
do
don't
we
know.
think? I could kind of see it. Like if Dean maybe was grouchy at work that morning or called in sick
At
the
6
night
a.m. already.
before. Yeah.
Maybe.
And so Taylor knew and
Or
Patty found out.
maybe someone saw them arguing or like not arguing or maybe I don't even know
Oh,
or heard them
yeah.
somehow.
And saw her walking off sad. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. But then Miss Patty just knows. Yeah, that's
Yep.
how it is
She
in a
just
small
knows
town, or at
everything.
least we think it. And okay, it's cute and sweet. We say cute too much, I know. But it's sweet that everybody in the town cares and just loves Rory so much. She's kind of, or Lorelai's trying to not let that happen. But also, to be fair, it is hard as an adult to not care, not to be invested in the like the teenagers' love lives that are in your
Yeah.
life.
Because their lives are just more
Right?
exciting than adult lives. You're like,
Yes.
it's so
And it
fun.
makes you, and you remember your teenage years and all the feels, and
Yeah.
you get just, it's fun to, and you just want to know, like, oh, what's happening?
Yes.
So the townsfolk are all like,
Townsfolk. Yeah. They're all
they're
invested.
all worried about it.
And yeah. And it's
And
sweet.
I love Luke's reaction. I'm gonna, like, what does he think he could do better than her? I'm gonna get her whipped cream. Like, he's so wants to fix it.
He's so sweet. Yeah.
Then we see him get into a little tussle.
With Dean.
Tuffle?
Tuffle. Tussle? I don't know. He gets into it with Dean.
Uh,
Also, this
Disney?
is
No.
another thing that bothers me. It's another time where they don't eat. So he's going to make the
They
food.
never eat.
He gets into an argument with Dean and then they walk off. What are they
They
going to
just
come back
leave,
to
and he
eat?
made her the sweet strawberry whipped cream stuff, and she's just leaving.
Yeah, it's so frustrating. Okay.
It is.
So,
Oh, one time there was a panel with the actors, and somebody asked Lauren Graham, "Do you actually eat all the food that's in the episodes, like the movie night food and all the things?" And she's like, "Oh, heavens, no." Like, oh, no, no, no.
there's no way.
Can you imagine? Yeah, there's no way. You'd be sick. But
But and I've heard this like multiple times that Rory would drink Coke instead of coffee. I think because
oh,
or
okay.
Alexa split out. She didn't like
Oh yeah,
the
and
taste of
they did
coffee.
say anytime they have coffee cups and there's always something in it. It's never
Yes, because
empty.
it's one of Lauren Graham's pet peeves too. I don't know if that's why, but it is like when there's nothing in there and
She
you can
said.
tell. Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Anyway, so also in part of this, before they go to Luke's, they have the discussion about wallowing because Lorelai
Yes.
tries to tell Rory she needs to wallow, and Rory's like, I don't want to be one of those girls who's just like falls apart because she doesn't have a boyfriend anymore. And in my head, I'm like,
Yes.
I definitely have been that girl, and like, I don't like you
Yeah.
shaming us. Just kidding.
Yes, because it doesn't make that your whole personality. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm the girl who can't handle it. It's not the same
Yeah.
as
But
being not being able to be alone just because you have
yeah.
feelings.
Yeah. So
Yes, so I agree with Lorelai. You need
I'm
to
on board
wallow
with the
for a while.
wallowing. It's important.
Yeah.
All right, so now Rory decides that she's gonna go to a party, a Chilton party. And I love this so much for her because
Mhm.
she's like being social and doing something new. And I think
It's so fun. And
yeah.
yes, her reasoning is probably just to not think about Dean, but that's okay because you need to
Yeah.
live and be a
And I
teenager.
love that Lane goes with her, except in my mind, I think, how would Lane have got
Told her
this?
mom
Yeah,
past
past her
Mrs. Kim.
mom, especially because Lorelai knew. Did
Hmm.
she just say, "Oh, Rory needs me. She's sad"? But I feel like and she would have understood that, but knowing Mrs. Kim, she would have been calling, right? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't
But
know.
she is allowed to go to Rory's house a lot. And so maybe she
Yeah,
just, yeah, kind of said that. Like, Rory's sad. I'm going to
yeah,
stay with her for a while.
yeah. So,
But
okay.
it does seem like Mrs. Kim would have called and asked where she was, but I guess not. Sometimes
Yeah.
I think she can't get caught every time. So,
Right. Yeah, it can't be a thing every time. Okay, so also maybe Mrs. Kim had some Bible study or something. Maybe she wasn't home that night.
oh, yeah, let's say that. We'll
It's
say that.
possible. Okay.
And Lane's outfit, I love Rory and Lane's outfits are very like 90s, early
Yes,
2000s.
and they're cute. I
So
like
cute. And
they
I
look so
had a
cute.
dress like Rory's, but it wasn't that color, but I remember kind of having that style. And even like the way Lane's hair is, I remember when it was
Yes.
that was the
Yes.
fashion,
Fashion.
the fashion at the time. So
Yeah.
now we're Southern completely.
Yeah. Okay, so Rory goes to this party. At the same time, Lorelai decides to go see Max. So there's a lot happening in this episode, a lot of cute stuff. What should we talk
Hmm.
about first? Okay.
Lorelai and Max first.
Okay. Lorelai goes to see Max. She just tells him she misses him. She's like, Rory and Dean broke up and she won't wallow. And then she asked me about you, and I realized I hadn't gotten over you.
I know.
Anyway,
Hmm.
it's adorable. They are cute, and he's just dreamy and down with,
Always dreamy.
yeah, talking. And so they hook up,
So yeah,
and then
they hook up.
they are very dramatic about like trying to figure out what to do. How do we do this? I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
Like they
adults,
can't just
just hide
date.
it. I don't know.
Yes. Which
Just
I guess
pretend
that's
you're not
kind of
dating.
what, yeah,
Yeah, it's
they
what they
kind of do
decide to
that.
do. But they're like,
Yeah.
we'll just
So they're
talk.
gonna talk,
Yeah. And it's
which
really
they do.
cute. And they're just so cute together. I love them. And I have said cute many times in the last
See, I
minute.
told you we say it a lot, and you're like, no.
I didn't say that. I just was like, I didn't realize. So, anyway.
That's what I took from your face. The
Okay.
and then
So then we have Rory at the party. Also, okay, there's this part where they're talking with Madeline Louise and Paris. Paris is in between Madeline and Louise. Paris's face is so funny because Madeline and Louise are talking to those guys about going to the pool house, and Paris is just like, at some point, just like wanting to die, just sitting there listening to them just like be idiots.
being vapid.
Anyway,
Yeah.
but at this party, a lot happens. Lane meets Henry and the
Oh yeah,
Korean
Henry.
guy. And they dance,
That
and it's
her.
fun. That
Hmm.
her mom would approve of. And Tristan is there with, we did not mention this in the last couple episodes. He is dating someone, Summer, who
Yes. Who he
That
actually
was,
likes, apparently.
yeah, she looks exactly like Rory, but she also played a student at Stars Hollow High in episode one.
Yeah. So it's the
Yeah,
actor is the same actor, but
yeah.
that's okay.
Anyway, so they're talking. She breaks up with him in front of everybody. And then Rory and Tristan are alone at the piano.
Yeah,
And
and
we
Rory feels bad
finally.
for Tristan because she just got broken up with too. So she's kind of, so then they kind of have a connection and she sees him sad, which makes her see like, oh, he's a real person. He's not just a
Yeah.
jerk.
And
And
then
oh,
they
he's so
kiss.
adorable.
Oh, so cute.
The kiss at the piano.
Yay! This made me so
I
happy. I'm
love
like, I
them.
love that she gets to kiss Tristan.
Yes,
Because even if
it
they didn't
needed to
get a
happen.
date, they got to kiss. And that was cute. And then she cries and runs away.
Then she cries, and it makes, oh, this has happened to me before. It made her realize she loves Dean and she just misses Dean and leaves. This happened to me when in college, my boyfriend that I was in love with, we broke up.
It
Sorry.
was so dumb.
He was a
Just
jerk. His
kidding.
name, he's from Brazil. Doesn't matter. Anyway, I was all in love. We dated for a while, but we broke up. And so a couple weeks later, my roommates were trying to get me to go out, and there was this cute new guy, and we a bunch of us went like dancing or to some party or something, and it was like a Latin dancing type of place. Anyway, and he was sweet and asked me to dance, and then we like my roommate was dating his friend, and it doesn't matter. Anyway, we kind of were hanging out, and then a couple days later, they were at our apartment, and he and I kissed, and I didn't cry, but I kind of was like I stopped the kiss and was just kind of like, sorry, like I don't know. I just kind of was sad. I did not cry, which he told his friend that I cried, and he's like, I don't want the drama.
So
So that,
dramatic.
yeah, that fizzled out. But it felt like kissing someone you don't really know that well and you
Yeah,
just
after you
don't
were
care about
comfortable
them.
with somebody else. Yeah.
Yes. And so you just
Okay,
miss that.
her Brazilian boyfriend. This is so funny because I was a missionary in Brazil like years later after you were married. I met
Hmm.
this family so I was in Brasilia, which is where the capital is. He is from Sao Paulo, and they, but he was friends with a guy that was the son of like a couple that I met when I was in Brazil, if this makes sense.
Okay.
So they
Yes.
knew him. They knew this guy that she dated. And I was telling them about that. And they're like, "What? No, he is bad. He is not good."
He
So
was a
like he
jerk,
had a bad
but he was sweet
reputation
to
in
me.
Brazil. And I was like,
No.
"Well, she didn't end up with him, luckily." So
Yeah,
it's kind of
thankfully,
funny.
no, I did not marry him.
Yeah, so
Thankfully,
that was good.
that didn't work out.
A random
But
side. No. But
yeah, yeah,
so
tangent. But yes, so Rory realizes, well, she just realizes that she is sad and she can't run away from it and distract herself forever. Like
yeah.
she misses Dean. She's sad. And so by the end of the episode, she's ready to wallow. But did we skip over anything though?
That's pretty much the gist of it. I've said the gist of
Okay.
it twice in this episode, and I feel like that's too much. Anyway,
It
that's
kind of
it.
is. And
Okay.
cute, we can say it multiple times, but no, not that.
Yeah. What would we rate this episode?
I loved it. 9?
Yeah, at least a nine. I would say nine, 9.5. This is
Okay.
solid episode. It's a good
It
one.
really is, but it's one that like, you know how certain ones stick out in your mind as favorites? This one doesn't, it
Right.
it
It's
felt like a
not
favorite as
necessarily
you watch it.
one that I have watched over and over and over again, like the Bracebridge Dinner or the
Mhm.
girls in bikinis and boys doing the twist, whatever, where they go spring
Or
break one.
I
I
jump
Jump Jack.
Jack.
Yep. Those episodes, I don't even know how many times I've seen them. So many times.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
this one, yeah, is not one of those, but it's still a solid episode.
Yeah,
So,
I
good.
agree. So moving on to episode 18, the third Lorelai, we get to meet Gran, Lorelai's grandmother, Lorelai the First, who is
Yeah.
apparently alive.
Yeah. Something we were
Because
led to believe was not true at the
in
beginning
one
of
in the beginning of
the.
the season, Richard mentions his mother and how she was so amazing and talks about her in the past tense. And so
Yeah.
it's just a continuity
Yeah.
error. So she is alive, lives in London, and comes to visit. We see Emily freak out because she does not like her mother-in-law very much, feels very judged by her, and she is.
She is
Lorelai the
horrible. She's
First
very mean
is
and judgy.
she's so mean. But yeah, her and Richard have a very strong bond. He loves his mother. He's a mama's boy for sure. See
Shoot.
that? And she ends up offering a trust fund to Rory and to like give it to her sooner than was planned. And it kind of like
Yes.
makes Emily very feel threatened. Lorelai starts to feel weird about it. So that's kind of going on. Anything else? Oh,
Tristan and Paris go on a date in this episode.
yeah. Yeah. So you see some Chilton stuff. And yeah, Tristan and Paris go on a date because Rory tries to, she knows that Paris likes Tristan. She's trying to like make that happen because Rory is not interested in Tristan.
Yeah.
But we'll get into that. So
Yeah. So
that's how
yeah.
does it start?
Well, it starts with Richard talking about Gran coming to visit and Emily's freaking out.
Yeah.
So Emily's freaking out trying to get all the stuff that Gran has given them and get it out and put it out and yeah, do that. But we also, yeah, so I've said yeah a billion times already. Tristan and Rory are at school. They decide to talk about what happened, the kiss,
The kiss at the
and they
piano.
talk. And Tristan says that he wants to try and swear off girls for a while. And Rory's like, yeah, like that could ever actually happen. Maybe it's just, swearing off the wrong type of girl or whatever, a certain type of girl. So you should try and go. She tries to convince him to go for someone with more substance, someone like Paris. In my opinion, Rory is not being a good girlfriend. Not that she and
Yeah.
Paris are super close, but I feel like they have kind of become friends. And I think she thinks she's being a good friend, but really, she's not.
Yeah.
Because she goes, you should ask
She's
Paris
not.
out. And he goes, what, Paris? Like, I don't know. Like, because he obviously is not into Paris.
Well, just from the outside looking in, you know he's not going to be into Paris. Like
Yeah,
it's
you know
true,
that.
date a girl with more substance, but you don't have to go all the way like full substance to Paris, right?
Full substance. Yeah.
Like the other end of the spectrum. And you know they're not a good fit and you can see it
Right.
from the outside.
Yeah,
So,
but she goes, she really likes you. You don't tell the guy that your friend likes them. That's not, no. Girl
not in
code,
this
whatever.
situation.
It's not, no.
Yes, unless your friend wants you to tell him,
Yes.
right?
It's the only way, the only option, the only,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, so he's like, okay. Another thing that bugs me is they have this meeting on like a Saturday morning to discuss their project. He comes in and asks Paris to come out at the beginning of the meeting. Why didn't he wait till the meeting was over? Then it just makes it
Yeah.
awkward and like weird, like everybody
During the
knows what's
meeting is
going
awkward.
on.
That's true. No,
Dumb.
yeah. It's not natural. Not
Yeah.
natural.
It ain't natural. Yeah. So I guess what's happening is Gran is setting up a time for everybody to get together to discuss finances and like give Rory money because she thinks that family should not loan family money because Richard and Emily are
Gran,
loaning money to
yeah,
Lorelai.
which really it doesn't even, they're just calling it a loan to,
Yeah.
it's not like, yeah, Gran just is getting involved in things and also has her
Yeah.
own crazy rules and just like completely can change her rules anytime. And she, whatever
Yeah.
it does it's like to spite Emily all the time.
Yes. And it's crazy. So she's offering Lorelai, or really Rory, money, like a substantial sum. I don't
You
say
said
things
that
like
like
that.
her.
But anyway, so Emily is telling Lorelai, she's like, no, if Rory gets his money, she won't need you anymore. She, like, you guys, she'll just go off on her own and whatever. And Lorelai's like, that won't happen. Which I agree. Rory is not, like, they have a solid relationship. Money isn't gonna,
Yeah,
like, change the relationship, at
change
least
that.
at this point in life. Like, it's not gonna happen. And
Yeah.
so Emily is a little crazy. They end up not even getting the money, which is fine because
Okay. Also, it always infuriates me in TV shows when that happens, when there's like
I
this
know,
chance that
me
they can get
too.
a bunch of money and then they never get
And
it. And I'm like, oh,
yeah, it
I
oh,
want.
it's so frustrating. So they don't get the money. It's a bummer. Whatever. It is. It's fine. Let's go back to Tristan and Paris going on this date. Tristan or Paris comes over to ask Rory what she should wear. And she ends up
It's really
leaving. It
sweet
is sweet.
that she comes to Rory because Madeline and Louise are her best friends, but she
No.
can't really, she just can't talk to them. Like
And
they're
they'll dress her up
too,
like a little tramp. I don't know. I don't know. That's not the word. But you know what I mean? They'll like go
you said it
too far.
so like unsure, tramp.
I'm
But
like, that's
yes,
not.
they'll go too far. Plus, they won't listen to her. She can't like be
Yeah, they'll make
vulnerable
her
as much around
uncomfortable.
them.
So instead, she goes to
They
Rory.
kind of
We
make fun
wish
of her.
Lorelai would have been there though, because in this situation, it's two nerds trying to pick out clothes to go on a date with a
Yeah,
cool guy. Even
yeah.
though Rory is cute, like she's still a nerd. Lorelai should have been there because even though Paris didn't look horrible, she looked like she was going to a job interview, in my opinion. She was cute,
Yes,
but
like she didn't look very young. She didn't,
yeah,
yeah,
she
she
looked
looked
older
too
and
serious.
exactly. But whatever, it is what it is. And it's fine.
It is. So she goes, yeah,
On the date,
she went on the date, tells
and
Rory
she
about
loved
it.
it. She had so much fun. He kissed her goodnight. Sweet. And then he tells her, like, she's like, we should do it again sometime. And he's like, yeah, she's his friends. And then, of course, he ruins it and he's like, yeah, when Rory suggested, and she's like, what? She finds out it was a pity date, which honestly,
Yeah,
yeah, that sucks. I would
it's
much
so
rather
embarrassing,
never talk to the guy that I'm into than go on a pity date.
right? It's just embarrassing. You feel stupid. Like,
Yeah, you feel dumb.
if you feel like they were just doing it to be nice, oh, it's, and you feel like other people know, even if they don't, you kind of just feel like they do. In that
Yes,
situation, like I
it
just,
feels embarrassing. And
so she's mad and I understand her reaction.
yeah, I do too.
But also, can't Rory tell that Tristan likes her the whole time?
So the end of the episode, Tristan is like talking to Rory, and Rory's like asking him why. He's like, "Yeah, I just don't like her." Like, or is it good that I go out with somebody when I like somebody else? And she's like, "Oh, I didn't realize you're not over summer." He's like, "Yeah, summer," and he walks away. And that's when it's like clicking for her. She's like, "Oh, he does like me." And I think because it was
But I
annoying at
think,
first, where I'm like, "How does she not know?" But I think it's
yeah,
because she thinks that he just sees her as like a prize to win, not actually likes her. And so that's
yes.
when,
And she's feeling like she's not over Dean, so maybe she assumed he's not over Summer. Or also, I think because I feel like you kind of we've been in these situations. She probably sort of suspected that he liked her during it all, but didn't really want to like admit it because
yeah,
she still likes Dean and he. And so she just, you
Yeah,
kind of act like you don't know, maybe, if that makes
that's
sense.
true.
I
Yeah.
don't know. But all of those things. So, it would be fun to have Tristan like you. Like
Yes.
this fictional character.
Yeah.
But yeah, I am glad they don't ever really date because it wouldn't really make sense. He's just kind of
Right. I do
too,
kind of wish they would have had a little. I think this is just me kind of projecting how, like, when I was a teenager, I wish I would have had more fun. I wish she would have had more fun like that. So,
yes, yes. So that's why you
but
love the party because she gets a little
yes,
bit
because
of that
yeah,
in
yeah,
between. And
exactly.
okay,
Okay.
so Paris is mad at Rory again, which that's kind of, it's just kind of fun. Their ups and downs, their
Yeah.
dynamic,
So it just
like
happens
in their
time and
friendship.
time again.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay. What
what
do
would
we
you rate
rate
this
this
up?
episode? Jinx! Sorry.
I would rate it like 6. I don't know. Like, I don't care for this
Mhm.
episode that much.
Yeah, I was gonna say a 6 too, because I just don't care that much about it, but I don't want to rate it too low. I'm saving my low ratings for later seasons.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, yeah, it felt a little bit like a filler type episode,
Yeah, for sure.
which is fine. You need those.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's okay.
next
So
one.
now, moving on to episode 19. This episode is called Emily in Wonderland. In this episode, Emily comes to Stars Hollow to go antiquing, and she gets a tour of the town with Rory. We also see more of Rachel in this episode. She is kind of making her, like, kind of starting to settle down in Stars Hollow a little bit. And
Mhm.
we also are introduced to the Dragonfly Inn, which is exciting.
Yay!
And Rune is back as well for a little bit, so that's fun. We see, yeah, we see kind of where Rory and Lorelai lived when they first moved to Stars Hollow, and yeah, it's a cute little
Yeah, it's
episode.
good. Like, and it fills in their story more.
Yeah,
So I like that.
yeah. So something that bothers me straight from the get-go
Hmm.
is baby pictures. The beginning of this episode, Rory is asking Emily for baby pictures of Lorelai, and Emily's like, "We don't have any because Lorelai, when she was 7, burned them all because Emily apparently commented too often about Lorelai's big head, and so Lorelai was ashamed and burned her baby pictures." But this we know is not true. There is at least one baby picture that we have seen of Lorelai,
Yeah,
and
we saw
that
it.
we saw it. We are
We saw it, but
witnesses.
it's true.
Us, too. Me and
We
you
saw it in a couple
can
episodes
testify.
ago when
Yeah,
she,
not even that long ago.
yeah, when Rory spent the night at Emily and Richards.
Yes. And they're looking through that photo album. Major continuity error. Like, major.
Yeah,
You guys even
seriously.
remember? I'm just kidding. Okay, so then Emily's talking about her new chairs and then antiquing and how she's, like, doesn't have any good spots. Rory suggests Kim's Antiques. And so Emily is coming to Stars Hollow. Very exciting.
Yes, it is fun when the worlds mix.
Yeah, I like it. So Emily comes to Stars Hollow. Lorelai's working, so she's not involved.
Yeah, she kind of has an out, but and yeah, it's going well. The day is happy at first.
Yes. And also at the same time, so before she comes, they are at Luke's eating breakfast, and Rachel is there, and she shows her some of the pictures. She shows Lorelai some of the pictures that she's taken, and there's one picture of the Dragonfly Inn that's this like run-down abandoned inn in Stars Hollow, and Lorelai is interested in seeing it, so they decide to go see it. So they have that kind of going on as well.
Hmm.
But yeah,
And they kind
so
of are getting along,
yeah, sort
which
of.
another scene. it starts to weird out Luke.
Luke, yeah, he's like uncomfortable by their friendship.
Like, oh, you guys are friends?
Hmm.
For him, it's sort of his worlds colliding too in that. And
Yeah,
he's just kind of like, oh, doesn't know how to take
yeah, he
it.
doesn't like it. So yeah, so those things are both happening. Emily comes to Stars Hollow. She wears Lorelai's tennis shoes so they can walk around. It's funny.
Hmm.
But so they go to Kim's Antiques. She loves Mrs. Kim because they barter back and forth, and
They're kindred spirits.
they are. And so then they're walking around. They go eat. Laura or Rory takes Emily to the inn to see the inn. It's nice. And then she takes her to the potting shed, which is where it was like their first apartment when they lived in Stars Hollow. And honestly, it's so cute. I think it's cute. I would love to live there.
In the potting shed.
Yeah,
You totally would.
it's like a
I
cute
could
little
see you.
studio apartment. It's adorable. They have plenty of like yard there, even though it's like a public place. It's kind of off on its own. There's a lake. Like how cute. I would love it.
Yeah.
It's so
Yes.
cute.
But of course,
And
Emily gets emotional and lets it ruin her whole day and leaves because she can't take the thought that
that
they
they
left
lived there.
her to
Yeah,
live
to
in the
live.
shed,
Which could be
which,
hard coming from her perspective, I guess. Her, yeah.
yes, it is kind of sad, but also you can't, I just hate how much she holds on to things,
Yeah.
but it's because she won't talk about it.
She won't talk about it. She holds on to it. She doesn't go to therapy. She doesn't, yeah, handle.
Yep.
Or, yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
True.
Rune is back, which we kind of mentioned. Rune is crazy,
Oh,
but
Rune.
he needs a place to stay. He needs a job. So Lorelai reluctantly gives him a job and lets him stay in the potting shed.
Which I guess that kind of brings up the potting shed. And so then
Yeah,
that
so
makes
that's
sense.
where we
It's
see. So it's good. Then we have Emily trying to create a new room for Rory. We don't really know what's happening, but she calls Rory and asks her out of NSYNC, 98 Degrees, and Backstreet Boys which band she likes the best. Rory is obviously above this. She's too cool for those
yeah,
bands, but we loved those
she is.
bands when we
But
were
we were
kids.
younger.
Yeah.
Yes. We were younger when we loved them, like fifth
Those and
grade.
Spice Girls, which
Yes, Spice Girls.
mildly inspired my hair today. Baby Spice.
Baby
Although
Spice.
she did like more of the full pigtails, but sometimes she would do it
Yeah.
like this. Anyway,
Yes. I love it. And I always wanted to be Baby Spice when we were with our cousins
and we would
talking about
play
Spice Girls, and we would each like be one of the Spice Girls. I always was Baby Spice. Who were you?
either Baby Spice or
Ginger?
Sporty Spice, maybe. I don't know. I think
Well,
I
our
also
cousin Laura
wanted to
was
be.
always Sporty
Oh, she
Spice.
was Sporty Spice, yeah. So then I must have been. So there was. This reminds me. I wasn't
Posh.
even there. Oh, maybe I was Posh. It reminds me of our oldest brother trying to name the Spice Girls in
Spice
Trivial
Girls. Okay, we were
Pursuit.
playing Trivial Pursuit. This
I
was
wasn't even
recently.
here. I just
Oh, you weren't
you sent
there.
me a video.
Okay, we took a video because we're dying. We were playing Trivial Pursuit, and our oldest brother had to name the Spice Girls. I can't remember if it said name two or I don't know. He's like, oh, I can at least name three. You have Puffy Spice. You have I don't even know what else because we just were dying after that, so he couldn't even get another one out because we're like he was so serious about it, thinking he was for sure there's Puffy Spice. Like what? Where?
Oh,
No,
so
there's
funny.
none that even sound like that. Also, anybody who tries to name the Spice Girls that didn't really love them, they always forget Ginger. They can name like Scary, Sporty, Baby, Posh, and they always forget her Ginger, which I think originally she was Sexy Spice and then changed it to Ginger Spice.
Okay, yeah,
Remember that? Maybe it was
barely.
like
I do remember standing in front of our bathroom mirror singing to Spice Girls. I loved it
And
so
making up
much.
dances.
Yeah.
And remember the movie Spice World? Oh,
Oh yeah,
so
we
good.
were
We
obsessed with
watched it so
that.
many times.
Girl
We were
power.
obsessed.
I loved it.
But yes,
Anyway.
and so back to 98 Degrees and Backstreet Boys in Sync. I loved Backstreet Boys the most out of those. Like
Yeah,
that was
me
one of my
too.
first
A lot of
CDs
people
that I
really
got.
loved NSYNC, but I was like, I don't get it. Backstreet Boys is where it's at. Like, we were
Yes,
obsessed.
Nick Carter. Yes, we had posters and everything. But I did go to a 98 Degrees concert in fifth grade. That was my
Yeah.
first
And
concert.
I almost got to go, sort of. There was
But we didn't.
discussion of possibly getting another ticket, and then it didn't happen. So
Yeah,
I didn't get to
it
go,
didn't
which
happen.
I
I'm
was
sorry.
excited at the possibility because I had never been to any concert ever. And so I was like,
Well, you were only in third grade. It's okay that you
oh,
hadn't been to a concert yet.
yeah.
But
But
yeah, it was fun.
yeah, 98 Degrees was pretty good. They were like, yeah, they were good.
Yeah. And we just didn't
Anyway,
listen to them as much as
right. I
Backstreet
feel like there were
Boys.
just a couple songs that we really liked from them.
Yes. And then
Can't think
Hanson
of
was
them.
good, but I didn't get as into
Yeah,
Hanson
Hanson.
besides Mbop. That was, I mean,
Nobody actually knows the words,
nobody
do
knows
they?
the word. I don't
Yeah,
think.
yeah. All
Yeah,
right.
you knew the words. Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, Emily decorates the room for Rory, gives her a bedroom, which it's kind of sad because she never asked Lorelai the things she liked and wanted. She made Lorelai's room the way she wanted. But to be
Exactly.
fair, that shows Emily's growth in some ways. Like you hope
Yeah,
that you learn as you go,
a little
but I could
bit.
see why.
But then
You're
Rory
like,
or
no.
Lorelai is confused because Lorelai doesn't even know about the potting shed incident. She's just like, "What is
Mhm.
this? Like, this is weird that you
Yeah.
did this." And yeah, it's weird for her because she never asked her what she liked. She's like, I mean, I guess
But
it's whatever.
actually, it kind of makes sense because Emily is asking Rory what she likes, but only giving her certain options. Like,
Yes,
she's
that's
not
true.
really asking Rory what she likes. So it does fit for Emily.
Yeah. So mild growth, not much,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah. And
So
they
yeah,
have their
so
fight.
they get into an argument about it. Yeah. It's not
And
great.
Lorelai just always gets the brunt of it.
You know. Also, random thing that is happening because Lorelai goes with Rachel, kind of back to that, to the Dragonfly Inn. We see that. Sorry, did you have
Hmm.
anything else to discuss about
Mm-mm.
Emily and any? So Rachel is talking about potentially settling down in Stars Hollow, just feeling like maybe she should, even though it's kind of hard. And I get that too. Like, I don't like, I stay in places for 2 years and then I leave. I
Yes.
cannot.
You and
I
Rachel are
wish,
similar.
I wish I could be a photographer and like make money from that, but I do not have that skill. Like,
Hmm.
I cannot be a photographer, but something like that would be so fun and just like travel and live in different
Yes.
places. So, like,
That would be
settling
cool.
down is hard, but she tries to get Lorelai, she's trying to convince Lorelai, no, yeah, she's asking Lorelai to convince Luke to believe
Mhm.
that she actually wants to stay. So Lorelai has a
Yeah.
discussion with Luke about this in the back stock room,
Oh,
and
mhm.
something that bothers me is the chaos in the stock room. So Luke is unloading pickles, puts them on a shelf, nice and orderly, goes around the other side, opens another box of pickles, puts them on a completely different shelf, and I'm like, that is annoying, but whatever. Then they're talking, and Lorelai's trying to help. No help, because it's going to be more work for Luke. So she's
Yeah.
unloading the Grey Poupon mustard and just putting it next to the pickles, which is fine at first, but then she no longer starts putting it next to the pickles where there's space. She puts it like in front of the pickles, pushing the pickles back, and I'm like, "What are you
No.
doing? Like this is a mess.
Yeah.
You're not even paying attention to where you're putting it, and you're just I don't know. It's
Yes,
not
and then it's going to be more work and not organized. My
even
husband
though
would hate
obviously,
that too. It makes it less efficient. Like,
yeah. So
yeah,
it bugs me, even
does
though
not.
it's the random tiny
Yeah.
thing.
But Luke is sweet, I guess, for letting
Yeah.
her help and talking about
Yeah.
it and stuff.
And he kind of like accepts it. He's like, okay, I'm gonna kind of accept it. They see Luke and Rachel at the black, white, and red theater when they go to see a
Hmm.
movie, and they
Yeah,
see
that's
that they're
sweet.
together, and it's cute. And then like,
Also, wait, real
oh
quick
yeah,
before we get into it, because Luke and Rachel are cute for a while, but her wanting to come to Stars Hollow and settle down, that's fine. But is it really fair to just move fair and to Luke and to herself? And just is it realistic to move in with him right away and be like,
right. Because even though they were
right into
together
the
before
family?
and possibly lived together before, maybe they just went right back into that. But also, it's like
Yeah,
they've been apart for so
living
long that
different
I feel like
lives.
that would be weird. Like she's just like, I'm here and I'm living here. Maybe her plan was to get her own place, but no, it didn't sound like that was her plan. It sounded like
It
they were just
seemed like
like,
she's just living with him, right?
yeah. And maybe
Mhm.
that's what they like. I don't know, but it just, and Luke maybe just
It
goes with the
seems
flow.
like too much too fast for
Yeah.
anyone, and they
But maybe
should like
Luke is
date for a
one
while.
that is just kind of, I guess we'll do this. And she's just one that is adaptable in any situation.
Yeah, that's true. But then it feels like he's just doing it because she's there, not because
Yeah.
he chose it,
I
which
was talking
actually
to a,
starts to happen,
yeah, I was
or
talking to
you
a
start to
friend
see
a
that.
couple weeks ago about this. I was like, "Are you dating anybody?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just talking to someone." And then he was saying that with dating, it's like girls more like approach him more and like pursue him, and he just kind of goes with the flow until he decides that he's like doesn't want it anymore. I'm like, "Do you not what? How do you do? What do you
Also,
what?"
that is not fair. Like, why
I
do
know.
guys just get to sit back and be approached all the time?
I
How is
know.
that fair?
So I feel like
I
Luke
feel
is
like,
similar and he's just like letting it happen until he
yeah.
decides that he doesn't want it to happen
Well,
anymore. I don't
even
know.
when he never decides, even when it
Yeah.
ends, she's the one that leaves, but we'll get there later. But he decides to give it a chance and they're cute.
Yeah.
So you see them dating a little more, and then the
And then
coffee.
there are a couple of things at the end. Like we see Lorelai and Suki looking at the dragonfly, like kind of
Yes.
like
So it's
toying with
their
this idea
dream.
to opening it
Their
in.
dream is
So
kind of starting to take picture.
yes. And then one of the final scenes, or maybe it's the final scene, I can't remember exactly, but Rory and Lorelai come in to Luke's. It's like he had just closed, but he lets them in and they're just gonna get coffee. So he's putting like a fresh pot on. And Rachel comes over and is like, "Oh, thank you for whatever you said. Like, it seems like he's really turned around and whatever." Is accepting that. I'm gonna stay.
Mhm.
So she's like, "So you're staying?" And she's like, "Yeah." And then they get coffee and Rory's like, "Does it taste different to you?" And Lorelai's like, "Yeah." And it's this kind of realization that because Rachel is here, it's like gonna change things.
Change.
Even though Lorelai is talking to Max again, things are gonna change because he's dating someone and she can't
Yeah.
just happily, I don't know. She can't have the same
Yeah, she
relationship with him.
with
That's
him as just as what's the word? Just as easily come to him for anything all the time because she
yes,
sees that he
yeah,
has someone and she's happy for him, but she sees that it's going to change things. And the
exactly. Yeah.
tasting, coffee tasting different is like just a symbol for that.
Yeah. So,
Yes. And then the music just it makes you feel it more. They're so good
yeah.
with putting the music.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it. That's
Yeah.
what happens in this episode. So, first off, let's rate this episode. So, what would you rate this episode?
Uh, maybe 6.5 or 7.
Yeah, me too. I would say max highest would be 7,
Mhm.
because it's just another filler episode, like we said.
Yeah. And I just
Yeah,
hate how upset Emily gets and she leaves and ruins the day.
yeah. And
It's not
any
that fun.
episode with Rune kind of just, ugh, I don't know.
Yes.
Sorry.
Isn't he in the Bracebridge dinner? That one is not
Oh
ruined by
yeah,
Brent.
that's not ruined by him. But yeah, so
Jess
that
cancels him out.
yeah, he does. Oh, so cute. Okay. But yeah. So that's it for this episode. We are next week we'll be doing episodes 20 and 21, our final episodes
Yay.
of the season. So we're finishing season
Oh,
1. That's so exciting. I feel like it took
oh
forever
my
to get here.
gosh.
But it also
Yeah, it
might
did.
be
It took forever.
because we filmed our first few episodes like months and months ago and then didn't film
We
anymore.
did.
So it's felt a lot
We
longer, I
took a
think.
break. Yes, I agree. And we had to film a couple of them multiple times because of different things messing us up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I feel like we're making progress. Yay.
We're doing it. Doing it.
So fun.
But yeah, the next two
Okay.
episodes I'm so excited for because they are both solid
So
episodes.
good. So
Yeah.
good.
So, yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
that's
See you
all for
next week.
today. Bye.
Bye.